Hey guys, how y'all doing tonight? Good, good. You guys sound excited. All right, well, like Sahil said, my name is Joshua White, and I'm from Trustful, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. It is my distinct privilege to be here talking to you guys. All right, tonight I'm going to talk to you about the significance of being insignificant. And although I do not know you personally, I know that you have ideas, I know that you have passions, and I know that you have goals. And I know that most of you out there are afraid of those ideas, passions, and goals. Some of you are afraid to start. Some of you are afraid to continue. Some of you are afraid of failure. Some of you are afraid of looking like a failure. And some of you are afraid of success, believe it or not. But tonight, what I'm going to talk to you about is these seemingly insignificant ideas can be turned into extremely significant outcomes. And that there really is very little difference between being totally insignificant and being of the utmost significance. Now, we live in a world that is extremely negative. It's extremely cynical. And so you guys who have these passions and goals and things that you're talking about, it's easy to get wrapped up in this negativity and this cynicism. And that's what I want to break out of for the next 12 minutes and talk to you about, is breaking out of that and turning these insignificant ideas into significant outcomes. So, here's what you're going to need, is perspective, passion, and perseverance. So first, I'm going to challenge your perspective. All right, I want you to look at this picture, and I want you to tell me, just to yourself, just think about it, what do you see? Look at this picture. Now, for those of you who are sitting in the front, you can probably tell that this is a map of some type. It's black and white, so it's a little old. It's okay. But it's a map of something. It's actually a mixture between farmland and the swampland. Does anybody know where that would be? I'm going to give you a hint. All right, think about this. What is this? Farmland mixed with swampland. It's a map. What is this? I'm going to give you one more hint, and if you said it, does anybody know it? Boom! David Wilson for the win. Bam. Round of applause. I'm super impressed by that, David. That's the Magic Kingdom. That is it. I'm super shocked. So the question is, thank you, David. The question is, what do you see when you look at this picture? Do you see the Magic Kingdom? Do you see Disney World? And here's the thing. Walt Disney took a plane ride in November of 1963, and he flew over this land, and it's swampland. And he goes back to his team, and he says, this right here is where I'm going to build. He had anywhere east of the Mississippi, and he picked this swampland. And people are saying, Walt, you are crazy. This is the middle of the swamp. Have you guys heard, I'm going to sell you some swampland in Florida? This is swampland in Florida. And Walt Disney was buying. This land was $80 an acre. It's crazy. Dirt cheap. And here's the thing. When he walked back, they saw the swampland. And here's what Walt Disney said. Walt Disney saw. He saw the swampland, but he saw the interstates. And he said, no. This is special land. It's not about the swamps. It's not about the cow pastures. This right here is where the Florida Turnpike meets Interstate 4, and this right here is where I'm going to build. And today, it's the world's most visited entertainment resort. And so what I want to ask you tonight is these passions, these ideas, these goals that you're thinking about, these insignificant things, this swampland. There's always going to be swampland, or these negative things in your ideas. But what I'm asking you to do is get the right perspective, and I'm asking you, what are you looking at? Are you looking at the swampland, or are you looking at the interstates? And if you're going to be successful, you've got to get past this idea of insignificance. It doesn't exist. You made it up. You've got to see past that and say, you know what? This has potential, and I'm going to do it. Whatever that is, and you can make that up for yourself. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about, is the significance of being insignificant. The significance of doing it anyway. Just go for it. Just do it. It doesn't matter what it is. And so I'm going to tell you two stories about myself, one of which probably none of you know. So I'll start with this one. When I was 8 years old, I learned how to juggle. And those of you guys, this picture right here was actually a picture of me trying to get on the Today Show. And that worked, by the way. Look at that. How could you not? Yeah, that's fantastic. So, but those of you who know me probably didn't know this story. You probably didn't know this. And I've kept it well hidden. So I was a juggler. When I was 8 years old, though, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. And I wanted to do something. I wanted to talk to people. I wanted to get out. I wanted to say something. I wanted to bring my message. I wanted to fundraise. I wanted to do anything. And the only thing that I could do that's totally insignificant is juggle. That's it. That's all I had to do, and that's all I did. So I started at age 10, and I started juggling. I packed up all of my supplies, and I was excited about it. And I traveled all over the state of Alabama for the next 6 years, juggling. And some of you guys who are laughing had no idea that I did this. This is true. This is true. So between the ages of 10 and 16, I spoke to over 500 groups all across the state of Alabama and in Mississippi. And my message to them was very similar to the message I'm giving you tonight. And that is, it doesn't matter how old you are, because I was 12. It doesn't matter what you've been through. My mother had cancer. And it doesn't matter what your talent is, because mine was juggling. You can make a difference. And that's what I'm telling you. Let me tell you 3 significant outcomes that came out of this. The first life-changing event that came out of this was I had a recovering alcoholic write a letter saying this made him continue rehab. I had a first-generation college student write me and thank me for inspiring her to apply to go to the U.S. Naval Academy. And at the end of every talk that I gave, I would ask people to come forward and sign cards, pledging to use their talents. And in those 6 years, over 2,000 people signed those cards. And here's the thing that all you guys who know me had no idea about this. First of all, middle school was tough. Middle school was really tough, like this. And I can almost guarantee that there are probably half a dozen of you in this room right now today or watching on the internet that think this is the dumbest, stupidest, goofiest, hokiest thing you've ever seen. And to those people, I say exactly. That's why I'm sharing this with you. That's exactly why I'm talking to you about this. That's exactly why I brought this out at this exact moment, is to encourage you out there that if this can make a difference, if a 12-year-old juggling, which is totally goofy, can make a difference, this is insignificant. If this can make a difference, imagine what you can do with your ideas. Imagine what you can do with your talents. Imagine what you can do with your time and your enthusiasm and your goals. If you believe in it, if you go all the way, it will have significant outcomes, no matter how stupid and insignificant these ideas seem. Because on paper, this seems stupid and insignificant. But in reality, it had a world of difference. It made a significant outcome. So now I'm going to tell you another story that most of you know. And that's when I was in high school. There were 2 teachers that had breast cancer at the same time. These teachers came to school bald every single day. Every day throughout their entire treatment. And I was faced with the exact same thing that when my mother had cancer. I've got to do something today. This cannot wait. It has to happen today. And so I did the only thing that I knew how to do. I was fundraising for cancer research the whole time, so it was very close to my heart. That's why I did this in the first place. So what did I do? I gathered together a group of people. I did the only thing I could, and it was sell these ugly tie-dye T-shirts. How many of you guys want one of these things, right? Look at that. Doesn't that look fantastic? We had style back in 10th grade, so this was 6 years ago. This is what we sold. And on one day in particular, all of our students came out and they supported these teachers with this one tie-dye T-shirt. And we raised $2,000 for cancer research that one day. And it was fantastic. But I want to tell you something, that it didn't stop there. The next year we got the mayor and the city council on board. And they declared the 3rd Wednesday in October as Turn Trussville Pink. We kept going. And in 2009, it absolutely exploded. Our Little League football players started turning pink on the same day as our schools. And our businesses all throughout town did the exact same thing. This is a nursing home picture, and they're pink on this day. And we raised quite a bit of money. And then something happened to me that I don't know if it's happened in your life, but it's one of those moments where you're just profoundly impacted just in 1,000 pieces and you don't know what to do. And my father was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And it's one of those moments in your life where it's like, what do I do now? And for me personally, it was one of those moments where do you go? And for me, the answer was forward. Forward. That's all I could do. So my family and I started a nonprofit organization, and we continued forward. And in 2010, it exploded. Our little elementary school kids started making cards for cancer patients. And businesses all throughout the city of Trussville. This is one day that every single person is going to join together, from the nursing homes to the little kids making cards and everybody in between. The next year, everything was decorated in the city. From our mail trucks to our city hall to our businesses to individual houses. Every single thing in this city is turning pink. And it's miraculous. Even our Friday night athletics are pink for Turn Trussville Pink. For these teachers, for this cause. And our community has really just embraced this. It's been fantastic. It's been phenomenal. So this is another picture this is 2011, I'm sorry. In our nursing home, these are our nursing home ladies, and on this day, they paint their fingernails pink for Turn Trussville Pink. They can't do anything else, but they paint their fingernails pink for Turn Trussville Pink. And it's a touching day. It really is. So in 2012, which was this past year, we had our biggest, most successful Turn Trussville Pink to date. We gathered together 100 unique community partners. We had over 5,000 people in the city of Trussville participate in this event. Every single school was on board, and all of our businesses. And our churches ended the day. This is one day, and it ended in the churches celebrating the survivors. And to date, in the last 6 years, we've raised $65,000 for cancer research. And it all started right here with one stupid, insignificant idea. And that's what I'm here to tell you tonight, is that there is no such thing as insignificant. It doesn't matter what you want to do. It doesn't matter what your talent is. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can do something. You can do something meaningful. You can impact your community. This one t-shirt went from one classroom to one school to 4 schools to 40 businesses to 100 businesses. An entire community came out of this. And in the next 2 years, we will eclipse $100,000 for cancer research. And it's because of this dumb, insignificant idea. That is not insignificant. It's not, and that's what I'm telling you, is that you have the potential to do these things. We live in a world that says if you can't do it big, don't do it at all. And what I'm here to tell you is that's a lie. This is all it takes to make a difference. Because if it never went beyond that classroom, if it never went to one other school, if it never went to one other business, this one t-shirt made a difference in the lives of those 2 teachers. And that's all that really mattered. You can make a difference where you are in 2 lives or 2,000. But if you can make a difference, then do. And don't worry about failing. Don't worry about it being insignificant. It's up to you. So what I want to leave you with is I want you to think about it. I want you to think for a long time about it. I want you to look at the top picture and think, what are you focused on in your life with your goals and your ideas and your passions and whatever it is you want to do? What are you focused on? Are you focused on the swampland or are you focused on the interstates? And I encourage you, every idea has swampland. Focus on the interstates because you can change the world. I want you to look at that bottom picture and think, what are my talents? And it doesn't matter if it's something silly and insignificant like juggling, you can do something. All it takes is to start, have perseverance, passion, and the right perspective. You can change the world. You can do things. It doesn't matter where you begin. It doesn't have to be big from day one. Start small, go big. But don't let anyone tell you that your idea is insignificant, that your goal is insignificant, that your passion is insignificant. It's not. You can change the world. So what I want you to do right now on Twitter with Tide Talks 2 is I want you to think about it. Challenge your perspective. Figure out what your passion is, and then I want you to tell us, what is your insignificant idea? Thank you.